Let's talk about a little acronym that has totally changed the way we work. BYOD. Sounds pretty simple, right? But its journey from a quirky little phrase to a global corporate standard is a really fascinating story, full of some amazing benefits and, you guessed it, some pretty serious hidden dangers. Okay, so let me ask you something. Have you ever, just quickly checked a work email on your personal phone? Or maybe used your own laptop at home to wrap up a project? If you're nodding your head yes right now, then congratulations, you're already part of the massive, kind of unofficial world of bring your own device. So, what is this thing, really? This policy that so many of us are a part of, maybe without even thinking about it? Let's break down what it is and where on earth it came from. So, on paper, bring your own device, or BYOD, is just a policy that allows employees to use their own gear to get into company systems. But here's the key part. We're not just talking about checking email. We're talking about accessing privileged, sensitive company info and apps, all from a device the company doesn't even own. That's a huge deal. Now, this whole idea didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It actually started way back in 2004 as a super niche term. But then, by 2009, big tech companies like Intel started noticing, hey, a ton of our employees are, they're already doing this. So they had to give it a name and start taking it seriously. And from there, it just exploded. Just a few years later, even the US government was jumping on the BYOD train. And you want to know where the name came from? It's literally a play on the classic party invitation, BYOB, bring your own booze. And, while it might have started as a bit of a joke, it actually perfectly captures that casual, employee-first vibe of how this whole thing got started. And that casual vibe is exactly why it got so popular so fast. For a while there, BYOD really seemed like the ultimate dream scenario for, everybody, both the people doing the work and the companies they worked for. Let's dig into why everyone fell in love with this idea. And when I say popular, I am not kidding. Check this out. A staggering 95% of employees say they use at least one personal device for work. 95%. This isn't some cool new perk anymore. It's just how we work now. It's the default for pretty much everyone. And you can totally see the appeal, right? For us, the employees, we get to use the phone or laptop that we actually like. We know how to use it super fast. And best of all, you only have to carry one device around. And for the companies, they're looking at major cost savings, happier employees, and an image that looks modern and flexible. I mean, it really seems like a perfect win-win. And this isn't just happening in one part of the world. It's a completely global thing. Adoption rates in fast-growing markets like Brazil and India are massive, around 75%. Now, it's a bit lower in more mature markets, sure, sitting at 44%, but that's still incredibly common. What this really tells us is that as economies grow, that line between our personal tech and our work tech gets blurrier and blurrier. But you know how it goes. For every amazing dream, there's a potential nightmare lurking around the corner. That incredible convenience that BYOD offers, it comes with an equally incredible and scary set of risks. And this is where the story starts to get a little dark. So what's the catch, right? I mean, if it's so easy and so popular, what could possibly go wrong? Well, as it turns out, a lot. The risks here are huge, and they're so much bigger than just losing your phone. A lost phone can be like an open door for hackers. Malware you pick up at home can spread to the entire company network. And when someone leaves the company, they just walk right out the door with that device, and who knows what sensitive data is still on it. There's even this wild business risk called the phone number problem. Think about it. A salesperson's personal number is their client list. When they leave, those clients might just go with them. Let me just walk you through how ridiculously simple a data breach can be. Okay, step 1. An employee uses their phone to log into the company network. Normal stuff. Step 2, they lose that phone. It happens. Step 3, if that phone isn't locked down tight, a total stranger now has access to whatever company's secrets were on it. It is literally that easy. And this right here is the craziest part of the whole story. Remember how 95% of people use their personal devices for work? Well, get this. International studies show that only 20%, 20, have ever actually signed a formal policy about it. That is a massive, massive disconnect between what we're all doing and the rules that are supposed to keep everyone's data safe. So this giant gap created, kind of a mess. It forced companies to figure out a way to tame this wild west of personal devices. The big challenge became, how do we find a middle ground between total freedom for our employees and total control for our IT department? Because of that risk, a lot of companies have started to back away from a pure BYOD world. I mean, look at the data. Only about a third of companies rely completely on personal phones now. The vast majority, 52%, are using a hybrid approach where they give company phones to some people but let others use their own. They're trying to find that perfect balance. And that's led to this big battle between two competing models. On one side, you have BYOD, where you own the device, you have all the freedom, but it's a huge headache for your IT team to keep it secure. On the other side, you have this new idea, COPE, which stands for corporate-owned, personally enabled. Here, the company owns the device, so they have full control, but they let you use it for personal stuff. It's way easier and safer for IT, but it definitely means less freedom for you. So for the companies that do decide to stick with BYOD, they now have a whole toolkit of strategies to handle the risk. First, they create a really clear policy. Then they use special software called Mobile Device Management, or MDM, that lets them remotely control the work stuff on your phone. And often, they'll offer a stipend, usually around $36 a month, to help you pay for using your own data plan. All of these policies and all this new tech, they're really just a reaction to something much, much bigger. BYOD was never just about technology. It's about how the lines between our work lives and our personal lives are getting more and more blurry. And this is exactly why this all matters so much. A recent study found that 82% of us now believe our smartphones play a critical role in business. They're not just handy little gadgets for checking email anymore. No way. They're absolutely fundamental to how we get work done today. Which brings me to one last thing to think about. That single device you have in your pocket right now holds everything. Your work emails and your family photos, your corporate meetings, and your personal texts. As our devices continue to merge every single part of our lives into one, it leaves us with a really big question. Where does the work end, and where do you begin?